Welcome everybody back to this week's GA meeting, where we tell our loved ones we're getting the help we need, but we all know we're really here to talk about guns. And in today's meeting, I've got something I'm very excited to show you. Everybody knows my Sharps Bros aluminum grip module. I do have my FCU in here, and I love this module. And I've been using the macro slide, just the stock macro slide. Well, then SIG comes out with the fuse. And the fuse is pretty cool, but they haven't done their comp slide to it yet. That's where Fdez Werx comes in, and they have made a fuse slide with porting and a comp. So I went out there, got the slide, got the barrel, got the recoil spring, because I don't have the spring for the 4.3-inch barrel. None of my springs would work, and SIG doesn't sell the recoil spring yet. So I got the adjustable recoil spring, and we're going to go over it. We're going to actually build the slide, because here it is. This is the Fdez slide. You can see there is the comp. Here is the cut for the ports, and it has absolutely nothing in it. And I have an old slide right here, which we will take the striker out, we will take the extractor out, and install it in the new slide. So before we do that, we'll go over everything else. I've got the barrel here, where you can see the ports, how they get bigger as they go down, and then the humongous comp at the end. That is a very big hole. This is a 4.3-inch barrel, and then they have a bunch of springs. We are going to be using the second to strongest spring, and it does have the guide rod. That is not a captured recoil spring guide rod, so you actually have to stick that in there, which it gets pretty difficult. Without further ado, we are going to disassemble this slide and also and then install on this one. So the first thing we want to do is take the striker out. You're going to need a little flathead, and if you can see this pin right here, or that's what actually holds your back plate on. So we're going to have to get that up on in between the back plate and that pin, and kind of push it out and then down, and there goes your back plate, and there it is. So the back plate is off. Then we can push down on the striker safety and pull the striker out, just like so. Then we need this piece as well, which is kept in by a spring. And the spring fell out, but there is that piece. So the last piece I need is the extractor, which there is a little pin in there that we will bang through. So I've got my little kit here. We will put this just like so. Get our little pin, our little punch. And we will give it a little tap. Take out the extractor with the spring, just like so. And then we want to take that roll pin out the rest of the way, because we will need to reuse it. And there you go. So now our slide is fully stripped down, and now it's time to install on the new slide. So first thing we'll do is put that extractor right back in. As we hold that down, we're going to take we will go to install it from the top now. There it is. So that's flush in there. We will So now our extractor is in. Our roll pin is flush with the slide, so it shouldn't affect when we install an optic. Now let's install the striker safety. Should just drop in like so. And now we will install our striker. Alright, so now our striker is in. Alright, so with our striker installed, the last thing we have to do is get the back plate on, which can be a little difficult. So we're going to have to kind of do what we did before with the screwdriver and push down on that piece, hold it with our finger, and slide that back plate on. So it's not as bad as it looks, but we did get it on. So now we have a complete slide with our striker and our extractor installed. So the very next thing to do is get our barrel. So they do recommend from Fdez putting a little bit of oil on everything before you install it. So we are going to do so. And I like to put a little oil in here, just a couple drops where it's going to wear. Drop on the barrel. And I just rub that in real quick. And then we're going to throw that right in the slide, like so. Now this is where the difficult part comes in. So here's a little end cap that we've got to somehow get in there. So our little end cap is in, and now the fun part of trying to push this spring in. So kind of need to use both hands here. As soon as, don't let go, because I did that, and it's a shot going across the room, put a dent in the wall. But there it is. Actually, that wasn't as terrible. It might have gotten a little softer because I did have this built before. But there it is. That is the slide completely built. And I just want to put a little bit of oil on the recoil spring. I like to do that. And then some on the rails. And that's it. You don't need too much oil. A lot of people like to oil their guns up where they're dripping. And it's just excessive. So there it is. So work that oil in, and that looks pretty freaking cool. So there is the slide. It does have a little shake to it. You know, that's it's not terrible. It's not terrible. But it does have a little shake to it, little sound. But no, I like it a lot. There you can see the porting as it gets much bigger, and then the very big comp. So I think this is going to be a really smooth shooter, especially with the aluminum grip module. The last thing to do is get an optic for this and then take this to the range. But I want to know from you guys what you think of this Fdez slide barrel down in the comments. If this is something you guys would rock, or you think that that's just ridiculous, why would you put so many holes in your barrel? You know, you're pretty much losing all the velocity that 4.3-inch barrel gains. Oh, one thing I forgot to do is we have to test function. So we are clear. Oh yeah. Perfect. So she works. She works. So like I said, last thing to do is get an optic, and we're going to take this bad boy to the range and see with this aluminum module and all the ports and comps in this thing how soft of a shooter this gun is. So if you did enjoy this video, I would appreciate it if you drop the thumbs up on this. If you want to see the video where we take this out to the range, make sure you get down there and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss our content in the future. That's all I got for you in this episode. I do appreciate everyone who stuck to the end, and we will see you all in our next GA meeting. Thanks, guys.